everyone is different. I guess part of my role is to discern where the person's at in terms of their need, the sort of issues they may want to explore. Sometimes people are in for something that's not a great deal to them, and we may just have a fairly straightforward conversation, and it can range through to, for being in hospital for some people is just in itself is very confronting, and so my role is to bring out, if people are willing to talk, what's in their heart, what's of most concern to them. And it can range from, as I say, just being in hospital and the uncertainty that comes with that. It can be dealing with a chronic illness and the grief and frustration associated with that. It can be something very sudden that's brought them into hospital and they're dealing with the shock of that and concerns with relatives. I guess in terms of how a pastoral care encounter develops, it's a very individual thing. I see my role as perhaps reflecting back and giving the person the sense that they're in a safe place, that it's a confidential time together, and that I'm not here to push any agenda or point of view one way or the other. It's a chance for them to say what they would like to say, and for me to give them that opportunity, and for them to know I'm comfortable with whatever they want to say. For me, in my role as a chaplain, I would have to say that God is my reason for doing what I'm doing. So in that broad sense, I guess it's the love that I've experienced of God that has caused me to want to pursue the line of the role of a chaplain. Whenever I walk into a room, within me I have the sense that the person I'm about to visit has been created by God and is loved by God and will return to God. Each person is someone of great value and sanctity, and so when I go in to speak with someone, I go with the sense that God is with us in the room, and not only in any formal prayers, but in any place where someone is being taken seriously and being listened to. I believe God's Spirit is active in that encounter. I won't pretend that my faith journey has been all sweetness and light, and there's been times when I've felt very challenged and confronted and have asked my own questions, certainly through the study I've done and yes, the encounters I come across. Depending on which days I'm working at the hospitals, I can come along to and participate in the worship that takes place within the hospital, and I've always found that a very feeding sort of thing to be part of, to gather as a group of faithful people and to pray for the different wards on the hospitals, and to pray for people that I've visited and to worship God, I find incredibly sustaining. It sort of brings the faith, the worship and the pastoral care together in a way I really value. I guess where pastoral care has its own distinctive role is that a pastoral carer may interact with a social worker to bring about the best outcome for a patient. The pastoral carer is there to listen to the feelings of the person, what's going on within them spiritually, and their anxieties, their concerns, how their beliefs may have been affected by what's happening, perhaps some grieving that they're doing. I guess the pastoral carer's role is to journey with that person, not be the person who's ringing up the age assessment team or whatever, but I guess in one sense a little bit detached from that practical process, and to be able to listen to the person's feelings and as I said, their concerns. There's many ways of living out your faith, and I think there's nothing worse for someone who's fired up from NCYC to come back to a church and find that they end up going onto the property committee. Ministry of this kind, there's outreach ministries is ministering to people on the edge, and there's different ways of being on the edge. For some people, they feel called to ministry with street kids or with people battling with addictions, and I guess that's your classic on the edge kind of thing that perhaps pops into people's mind. But as I said, people who are in hospital, they are often in a great sense of crisis, and so I would say to a young person, if they're interested, it depends what they feel led to, but it's very rewarding, it's very challenging. It's a wonderful way to bring together, if you're wanting to explore your faith in a way about learning about faith and just growing as a person, it's a wonderful way to bring those things together.